sit so we can all see each other, and I'm on a little step up. You know, whenever I meet people for the first time, they say, "We didn't know you were so little." And I say, when I started in politics, I was 6 feet tall. Counting on me. Listen, you are the key to a very important election that is going to decide, are we going to take our country in the right direction? Or are we going to go backwards? As President Obama says, D, when you want to go forward in your car, R, when you want to go to reverse. We want to go forward. Was Jerry here? Is Jerry going to win? It is so exciting. You know, a few weeks ago, the press and the pundits were all saying, well, you Democrats are in really bad shape, and you're not gonna make it. And all I said to them, and Gavin knows this, is, you pundits and you pollsters and you reporters, you have it all figured out. But there's only one problem with it. The people haven't voted. And when they vote, we will win. Look, I know these are very tough times in our state. I don't sugarcoat it one bit. It's tough times for our nation. But we Californians, we're even tougher, aren't we? Yeah! We have gone through earthquake, flood, fire, base closure, the dot-com bust, drought, everything.
Bush.
And we... Stand down. Stand down. And you know, the Republicans want us to forget about that. They want us to forget about who drove this car into the ditch, as our president says. I love to hear his analogy. He says, the Republicans are counting on amnesia. They want people to forget who drove the car in the ditch and who's getting it out of the ditch. And we're the ones that are getting it out of the ditch. And it's tough, and it's hard, and we don't have a lot of help from the other side. But we never give up. And if ever we needed a fighter in the United States Senate to keep on pushing for those jobs, to keep on pushing to get us out of the ditch, it's right now, and it's me. And I hope you will. If ever our state needed a fighter for our children's future, do we have any little kids here today? If we do, let's have them stand up and let's applaud those children, because that's what it's all about. That's why we fight. We already caught the dream. We want them to have the dream. And we need a fighter for Social Security and Medicare. Because otherwise, they're going to take it away and put it in the stock market, and that is not the right thing to do. And if ever we needed a fighter for our clean energy future, it's now, and it's me. All these issues are on the ballot in our race. And I am asking you to send me back to the Senate so I can fight to see the words "Made in America." Supports tax breaks to companies who ship jobs overseas, just like she did. And she supports Prop 23. The only major candidate to do that. When we know, even in these deep, dark, recessionary times, the one bright spot we've had in California has been our clean energy industry. 10,000 new businesses, 125,000 new jobs. We have to vote no on 23 and keep on going. And Californian who told me that the water's too clean and the air is too clear. I never met a Californian who said, we need a little more traffic. I never met a Californian who said, you know what we need to do? Import more polluting oil from countries who hate us. But yet that's where my opponent stands. She also laid off 30,000 workers at Hewlett-Packard before she was fired. She tells everybody that's her experience, CEO of HP, but she forgets to say she was fired. She forgets to say that stock went down 50%, and that she laid off 30,000 workers, and she was named the worst CEO. Do you have those facts? Do you? And will you tell your neighbors and friends? It's important. I'm not interested in creating jobs in India. I want to create them in Indio. And Irvine, and Inglewood. I'm not interested. I'm glad you like it. I'm not interested in creating jobs in China. I want to create them in Chino and Chula Vista. We could go on with this. My opponent says she wants to do for California and America what she did for HP, and that's what we're worried about. You know, for my opponent, I am having so much fun right now. It's been 2 years of hell, but today we're telling the truth about this race. For my opponent, HP stood for huge payout. Huge payout. Because when she left, in one day, she got a $21 million severance check. Now that would take the average Californian working full-time 200 years to make that much. So I ask you, is she in touch with California? Is she in touch with real families? Is she in touch with the tough times we're going through? And that's why I believe that we're going to have a big victory, but we will only have it if we get out and vote. If we stay home, the polls don't make a difference. The only poll that counts is the one on Election Day. We say that every time, and we mean it. Now, there's a great Latino expression. I won't say it in Spanish because I'm not very good at that, but I will say it in English, which is, if you want to know about someone, just take a look at who they walk with. I walk with you. I walk with President Obama. I walk with Vice President Biden. I walk with Senator Dianne Feinstein. I walk with these communities here in California. My opponent, first of all, she hardly ever voted. Only 20% of the time. Meg Whitman never voted. Between the two of them, Jerry Brown and I have won more elections than they ever voted in. So we have to look at who walks with my opponent. You've seen some of the worst scurrilous ads that are being paid for from money outside. We don't know who's paying, because the chamber won't tell us. We don't know it's foreign money. We don't know who's behind it. But we do know they've spent almost $7 million against your United States Senator. You also know that Karl Rove has dropped more than $1 million against your United States Senator. So who walks with my opponent? Karl Rove walks with my opponent. And also, Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin does not speak for California. Sarah Palin is still baby Jill. And my opponent drill, baby, drill. 400,000 jobs rely on a clean, beautiful coast. And yet my opponent would despoil all that. Well, I understand why Sarah Palin endorses my opponent. I wonder if she could see those jobs fearing a ship to China from her front porch. A historian once said, change is certain, progress is not. But together, we can take this time of turmoil and we can turn it into a time of progress. We can save our jobs. We can see the words made in America again. We can protect our environment, create those jobs from clean energy, but only if we vote. I'll close with this. I'm a first-generation American on my mother's side, and my mother used to take me to vote when I was a little girl. She'd pull the curtain around her in those days. And she looked at me, and it was such an exciting moment for me. And she'd say, honey, this is what America is all about. She says, we have a secret vote. We have a private vote. So don't even tell Daddy how I voted today. And she said to me, when everything is said and done, America is about the vote. And so I, in my mother's memory, am working extra hard because I want every Democrat to vote. I want every independent to vote. I want every Republican to vote. I want everybody, who, however they're registered, to vote. That's what I want. Yes, that's what I want. We are, in fact, living up to the promise of our Constitution, a government of, by, and for the people. So let's hope we all vote and the people win. God bless you and thank you for all your support.